Okay, so you know how sometimes, like, your washing machine just decides it's gonna,
Stop working.
yeah, like, it's done.
It's had enough.
It's had enough, right? It's like, nope, not spinning anymore, and you're just kind of stuck.
You're stuck with a pile of
It's
laundry.
a pile of laundry, and you're like, oh, great, now what? So
Exactly.
today we're looking at a business that might actually be able to help with that.
Yeah, these guys seem pretty cool.
Yeah, they're called BH Service Center, and they work on basically every kind of appliance you can think of.
And that's kind of impressive when you think about it.
It is. What do you mean by that?
I mean, if they're handling everything from fridges to ovens to washers and dryers.
They've probably got to have, like, a ton of different parts on hand.
Right. Exactly. Like imagine the network of suppliers they must have to keep up with all those
And the
brands.
technicians. They can't just be, like, specialists in one thing.
No, no, they've got to be like appliance superheroes or something.
Right, like, you wouldn't want some guy showing up who's only ever seen one type of dryer in his life.
Exactly. And you know what else is interesting? They insist on using genuine parts.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too, and I was like, is that just a marketing thing, or is that actually important?
It's actually really important.
Is it?
Yeah, think about it. Like, have you ever heard those horror stories about like putting cheap gas in your car and then
Oh, yeah.
your engine just dies?
Yeah, like, it messes everything up.
It's the same kind of thing with appliances. Those knockoff parts might seem like a good deal at first, but
Because they're cheaper.
exactly. But they could end up causing way more problems down the line.
So you're saying, like, it could actually end up costing you more in the long run?
Yeah, because you might end up needing another repair even sooner. Or in a worst case scenario, you might even have to replace the whole appliance.
So basically, it's like investing in the longevity of your appliance.
Exactly.
It makes sense.
And it could even be a safety issue too, with some of those.
Right, like some dodgy wiring or something.
Exactly. You just don't know what you're getting with those knockoff parts.
So better safe than sorry, right?
Absolutely.
So, okay, I was looking at their website, and it says they're located in Conyers, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and they're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Sounds pretty standard.
Yeah, right.
Except for one thing.
What's that?
They're closed on weekends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that got me thinking, why would a service-based business like that deliberately limit their availability?
Yeah, it seems kind of counterintuitive.
Right, because you'd think they'd want to be open as much as possible to, reach more customers.
Yeah, make more money.
Exactly. But maybe they're prioritizing something else. Maybe it's about like work-life balance for their technicians.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, maybe they're like, hey, we want our guys to have a life outside of work so they can come back on Monday refreshed and ready to go.
Right. And that probably translates to better service for the customer, too.
Yeah, exactly. Because if the technicians are stressed and burnt out, they're probably not going to be doing their best work. And maybe it's also about like a focus on quality over quantity.
Oh, yeah, like taking their time with each repair instead of just rushing through a bunch of appointments.
Exactly.
Interesting.
It makes you think.
It does. It does make you think. And speaking of reaching them, their phone number is 678-607-5589.
And you can text them too, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super convenient.
Especially if you're like, in the middle of something and can't really talk on the phone.
Exactly. So, yeah, if you're in the Conyers area and you've got an appliance acting up, these guys seem like a pretty good bet.
They do seem pretty solid.
And, even if you're not in Conyers, I think there's a bigger takeaway here.
What's that?
It's like when you're choosing any kind of service provider, don't just automatically go for the cheapest or the most convenient option.
Right. Look beyond the surface.
Yeah, do a little digging and see how they treat their employees.
And their customers too.
Exactly. Like in this case, the fact that they're closed on weekends might actually be a good sign.
It might mean they're prioritizing things that ultimately lead to a better customer experience.
Exactly. And that's something to think about.
Food for thought.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. I think we
we learned a lot.
we learned a lot today.
We did. And hopefully you did too. So until next time, take care and happy appliance hunting.
And may your appliances always run smoothly.